Good morning. My name is Laura Miller. I'm an occupational therapist, a certified driving instructor, and a certified driving rehab specialist here with A&A Driving School in southeastern Michigan. Welcome and good morning from the Motor City. We're very happy you're here this morning and hope you have a chance to enjoy this opportunity to meet with some individuals who are users of the ACE Mobility servo system for acceleration and braking. I thought I'd use my soapbox time not to necessarily give a product endorsement, but to give you some actual feedback from individuals who are installers and users of the ACE Mobility servo system. That's why we're here this morning at Advantage Mobility to start off meeting with some of the service technicians who do the actual installations of servos. As a CDRS who's evaluated individuals for high-tech modifications, I first became aware of the ACE Mobility servo unit several years ago when one of my clients suggested it as an option that they were considering because of financial reasons. When I explored it and found that it met applicable federal motor vehicle safety standards at the time, we thought that it might be a viable option for her. We were fortunate enough to be able to get an evaluation vehicle for her to try so that we could do a meaningful evaluation. But going beyond that, I thought for our soapbox it would be more meaningful not to hear from the evaluator at the outset, but from some individuals who have dealt with installation and end use. So that's why we're here today at Advantage Mobility, and we're meeting with the service manager. You probably have a longer title than that.
Not service manager.
Something bigger.
Senior service technician.
I knew it was bigger. Artie, who can tell us a little bit more about his experiences with the installation and servicing of ACE Mobility units. First of all, can you give me an idea of how many ACE servo units that you've been responsible for?
At this point, we've done three. Three of the ACE Mobility, all on full-size Ford vans, all. Well, two were identical. One was the opposite. One was on the right-hand side. Two were on the left-hand side.
So that's a flexibility with this unit that you can put it on either side. Yeah,
you can do it either side. Yeah.
How about the directionality for the acceleration and braking? Is that adjustable?
Can also be reversed if need be. We had a customer that
most people do brake forward, gas reverse. We had a customer that his is actually gas forward, brake reverse, and it worked out really well. It was very easy to convert it. I was able to do it in the field without having the tech from ACE to even come out to do it.
I guess that would be one of my follow-up questions, just in terms of the installation and servicing. How has your responsiveness from the manufacturer been?
Outstanding. I mean, I call him. He answers his phone. I've never got a voicemail. He answers right away. It goes right to his cell phone. And even if he's driving back from vacation.
Don't say that. Don't tell him to drive.
On vacation, he'll answer his phone via Bluetooth.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and as he's driving, he's giving me, check this or look at this. And any questions that I have, he's right there every time.
How does that compare? I'm assuming you've had some experience with other manufacturers of servo units?
We have dealt with the other ones, and most of the time with that, we've either had to leave a message and wait for a call back, or once they determine there's something wrong with the unit, it's a removal, ship it out, they fix it, they ship it back. The customer's without their vehicle. Sometimes it could be 3 weeks, sometimes it could be a month, sometimes it can be longer, depending on what the unit needed.
Yeah, these are folks that are not going to call it Uber and get to work.
Exactly.
How would you compare? How was the even not comparing, but how was the installation of the ACE unit?
Well, what I liked about the ACE unit compared to the other units is when you install it, it mounts almost like a hand control a standard hand control. There's bracketry that mounts underneath to the column, and it suspends from the column. So everything's up and out of the way. With the other units, you have to mount brackets in the floor. A big motor gets mounted to the floor, and then it has a wheel that actually pushes the brake and activates the gas, and all that has to have room and accommodations for it. With this one, everything comes right out from under the dash and goes straight at the pedals.
So you would, a cleaner installation?
Cleaner and less invasive.
Are the OEM functions still?
Yes, you can still use the foot pedals. Just any able-bodied person would be able to get in it and drive it.
Okay.
And what's the nice feature about that is they actually have an on-off switch, a key switch that you can turn that system off so that nobody can just get in it and use those controls. It's strictly for the end user.
Okay, and that is a lot cleaner application than some of the other systems that you've encountered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's been a tremendous difference when it comes to the installation.
I talked a little bit about technical support. I mean, nothing is perfect. Have there been trends in service issues that you've seen?
We did have a hiccup with the controller for the display. It wasn't. I don't think it was foreseen that there was an issue with a spike in voltage when you started the vehicle, and what it was doing was actually taking the display and giving it a high spike and causing the display to flicker, and it would actually fry the display. We had one issue with one vehicle before it even left our shop, and Kyle from Ace Mobility was right there. As a matter of fact, he actually drove up so that we could troubleshoot it in the field with us, and he went back to his shop, and within 2 days we had the new updated version. And what's nice about it is he not only gave us the one to fix that one, the other two we have in the field, he was actually adamant about us getting those in, and if need be, swapping those out.
So you found a response.
He was proactive, big time.
Oh, that's kind of important in our business.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm not sure if this is a question on your end or if it's something I should talk to somebody in sales about, but do you have a sense of the price differentials between the Ace servo unit and some of the other ones?
Well, from what my understanding is, and yes, I wouldn't know exactly pricing, but I do know that it is definitely a lower cost, I think a lower cost, better unit. The way it works and how it's installed and everything. It just, everything about it seems to be a better fit.
The warranty information, again, is that a question I should ask?
You might want to, let me just say this, and I don't know how this works with him, but I do know that anything we've needed so far from Kyle when it comes to the Ace product is he's just got it to us. I've yet to see like a after bill, if you want to, if I should say that. Hey, I need an extra extension for the tri-pin, or I need an extra piece of pipe, I need a couple fittings, I need something for it. Never once has he said, well, it's going to cost you guys this much more. He's just sent it. Because I think his goal is the same as ours, end user, get them going, and we'll worry about the small stuff later.
Great. Well, that's good to hear. And
Yeah.
what we're going to do in a little bit is talk to one of those end users. So this has been really helpful. Thank you
Great.
so much, Artie. I really
All right.
appreciate it. I am very excited that we're here today to meet with Shannon DeWall, who is going to share with us her impressions of using the Ace servo system. So Shannon, nice to see you after all these years.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
So I thought maybe we could start out by having you just show us your vehicle in general.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Great.
Shall I open it and
Sure.
go in?
Sure. I should say that this takes Shannon to her law practice every day.
That's true. It helped me get to law school every day, and now my law practice. So I'm very thankful.
saw you transfer to get in here. Other equipment that you use for steering or gear shifting or anything else?
The only thing I have really is this device here that makes it easier to steer with one arm, because I'm using the accelerator, the hand control there, with my left arm for accelerating and braking.
Alrighty, and there's no reduced effort on the wheel, is there?
No,
I'm trying
there's
to
not.
recall.
No.
When did you first learn to drive with adaptations?
Gosh, what year would that be? I think I was about 28, so...
Oh, just last year then.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
So it's been a couple
been a
years.
few years, yeah.
So I know I first met you in 2009, and so you were using a different servo system at that time. And we don't necessarily have to name names or anything, but what made you consider a different servo system for your new van?
Well, it was really price, and I also heard there was potentially less maintenance. So those were really the two driving factors. I was nervous about switching because I was so used to the other one.
Did you ever have service issues with the other unit?
I did. I had a few service issues, and my experience was that when I needed to take it in for service, it would be days before I could get it back because it needed to be shipped out to a different state, or they had to consult with someone in a different state, and so it would be days at a time before I would get that back, and so I'd be kind of stuck without transportation for days at a time.
Okay, now for video purposes we have the door open, so we had to take the key out so we wouldn't get the dinging in here, but do you know about how many miles you have on this vehicle?
61,000.
Oh,
Yeah, it's still on.
okay, I can't even see it from over there. Okay, 61,000, so you don't necessarily just sit at home.
No. And actually, I'm not sure if that's a trip mileage that I've left on, or if that's total miles. I don't know.
Would you say you drive just about every day?
I do. I drive just about every day, or maybe every other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this vehicle is a 2013?
It is.
And so you've had this servo unit in here for 3.5, 4 years?
Yes.
Have you experienced service issues with it?
I haven't had any, actually. I haven't had any. I just took the van in for routine maintenance, and they checked it out and said everything was fine.
Pros and cons there are with every system. What has been some of your, we've heard some of the pros that you haven't had service issues and you drive it all the time, but what are some of the differences that you notice in this one that you could change if you could?
Yeah, I would say that the acceleration and the braking are not as smooth in this system as what I experienced when you're just braking for a red light or something. Not like in a crisis situation, but just regular braking. It can be a little jerky.
All right. So we saw Shannon coming in and transferring, and if I'm recalling, the steering system is a little bit different that you have modified.
So I just have this device here. This device allows me to steer with one hand because my other arm is controlling the hand control for acceleration.
Do you, and I know things change because it's been a few years since you got this one, ballpark, do you know what the price difference was for the comparable device?
It was about $20,000 or $30,000 between the difference between the two. So everything else being the same, just the system, 20 to 30.
How is this system in terms of like letting your husband drive? Your kids are too young,
Right.
but that day will come.
That's right. That's right.
For your husband to go back and forth driving?
It's actually very easy. There's a computer in the back. We have ours placed in the back of the van, and there's a key. You just turn the key off on the computer, and it turns the system off, and then he can drive it. Technically, it can be driven with the computer still on, but we always turn it off.
Okay. Is that something that you can do yourself?
I can. Yeah, we had a place where I could reach it. So the van is set up so that the back hatch is automatic, and there's just a floor door that you can raise up and turn the key off, and I can reach all of that myself.
Remind me, Shannon, how this one is set up. Acceleration is
Forward, and braking is backwards.
okay. Is that how it was with your other system? Is that how you prefer it?
It was. I do prefer it that way.
Okay. There is, in the future, if you ever
Show it on the door.
well, if you close the door, she could show you, but Yeah. Just how her acceleration and braking is.
Do you want
Just
me to go?
yeah. Just
So
like
this is acceleration,
okay.
and then this is braking.
Very straightforward. All right.
Okay.
We'll take a look at the disengage,
Great.
and that's will.
I'd like to thank Shannon Duval and Artie from Advantage Mobility for sharing their insights with all of us on the ACE Mobility system. As driver rehabilitation professionals, we can never disengage from learning.